Well, do you remember I said to you about that Ferdinand and Issabella
Yeah.
asked my family to teach Christopher Columbus, because we had a house and a business in Genoa. We knew the family, you know. But they went down. They were married into the McGuires. Were married into the Duke of Alva's family, who's the biggest landowner still in Spain. That's the Duchess of Alba. Alba, she's the legitimate heir to the throne of Scotland. And the McGuires, and they were the ones who got. You know, you remember the thing about the boat, our ship, the Connacht. The King of France and the King of Spain had an agreement with the King of England that these rebels wouldn't be allowed down to Rome. So they went up along to what is known as Belgium today, Flanders, and they ran Flanders, the Duke of Alba. There's portraits of him, and the McGuires were married into that, and he got them down on the old Pilgrim Road down to, and that's where Tiger Queen on. She's the largest landowner in Spain. I don't know, my sister met her once. Oh, that's that. Here's who comes going up for that now. I'm trying to look at that thing. There's so much stuff in this house you couldn't possibly find.
What were you going to say about Francisca and Isabella? King Ferdinand and Isabella?
They asked Patrick McGuire to teach Christopher Columbus. That's all in the archives in Madrid. And Patrick McGuire, I told you Christopher Columbus, he wasn't Christopher, he was Cristobal Colon. And they all had pseudonyms when they went on board, they decided, they came up along, they followed the Brendan voyage right up to Iceland. And they decided that was, but basically the purpose of that was to teach them how to sail the Atlantic. They didn't know how to sail.
That was the dry run.
That was the dry run.
And
they went down across the Azores. It was well known fact where the Vikings and all that would have probably been there anyway. But the Brendan voyage is the blueprint for the. It's the blueprint for the Kirk. That's the Kirk. Brendan voyage, all that comes from that. And now that's a sort of a stylized version of it, but that's the reason. I mean, the harp would work. That could be a harp if you wanted to play music, the strings. The Brendan voyage is teaching them how to. Now that Tim Sovereign, I sent him a letter. Actually, it was repeated again this summer. The Brendan voyage. He doesn't know that on the Sovereign Seal is the top of it is the blueprint for the. Although he did it pretty well. He tied it all, lashed all the. Instead of the strings, he used the ribs. They're known as the ribs, the string, to make the surface, to cover it with the. He used, skins to do it. You could use the hemp as well, the cloth. That's what they would use today. And tar and that, but he used that, and the way it toughens in the salt water and sail and that. But he didn't. He did it. You can actually live your life in this world without never knowing anything about civilization. That is allowed as well. But for civilized and to build your proper society and how to get rid of diseases and all that sort of, you have an intellect. That's what you're given. That's your God-given right. And that's the difference. You can go through this life totally ignorant of anything. Get up in the morning, go to bed at night, and eat and drink, and that's it. You want to. A lot of people did it for a long time, no other way. But today we're what they call the Enlightened, because since 2000, since Christianity, which we don't know exactly, we call it Christ arrived. We're not sure. But our man's intellect became that you know the difference from wrong to right, and you know how to read, you know how to establish things, you know how things grow, that's what civilization is, that's what sovereignty is. And they're good fight.